Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Leo. We're going to do a Celtic crossbred with a Thoth deck, and what we see on the bottom of the deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. And once we get an idea of what the general message of this reading is going to be, we're going to pull 3 cards from the shadow deck to see what's going on in your subconscious and to see if there are any further clarifications we may need. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so today we are tuning in to the sign of Leo. So if Leo is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or however else you choose to identify with the sign of Leo today, you can use that as a way to interpret the messages that are coming through. And as always, if the details of those messages do not fit, do not try to force anything. Always take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if none of the details really seem to fit, you can always check your other placements, or you can just stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Leos. So let's see what messages we can get today. What things can we learn? What messages can come through? Are there any things that we should meditate upon? Are there any things that we should reflect on? Things that we should be made aware of? Any warnings we need to see? Or are there any things we can look forward to? Let us see today what messages we can get for those who are trying to tap into the sign of Leo. So let us see what we get today. So as I said, we're going to do a traditional Celtic crossbred. So let's just see what happens. Okay, that feels good. Okay, so we'll start with the present moment, and we have the Two of Swords. So perhaps you are stuck in a position where you're not exactly sure what to do next. Perhaps you're trying to decide between two extremes, and really what this card represents is not just a choice, but a choice where there's no obvious correct choice. It's really a choice between two things that are either both good or both bad, and there's really no clear path to decide what we need to do when we're stuck in this sort of in-between situation. So often a way that we can transcend a situation like this is to try to figure out, is there some way we can maybe zoom out from this situation and gain a bigger perspective on what has gotten us stuck in the first place. But we're in a moment here where we have some indecision about what to do next. Where do we go? Left, right, up, down, yes, no, whatever the decision is for you and your situation. So let's get a sense of what is the sort of general context for this. Okay, so we have a Princess of Discs. We have a Princess of Cups. We have the Lovers. The Wheel of Fortune. We have a Seven of Cups. We have the Hermit, the Sun, the Universe, and the Star. Whoa, okay. So that's a lot of major arcana. This is big. Okay, so we're going to check what's going on the bottom of that deck after we get a sense of the general message of this reading, but there's a lot going on here. So let's see if we can make some sense of what this current situation is. So, as I said, in the current moment with the Two of Swords, you're likely faced with some kind of decision to be made, and it's not clear how to make this decision. It's not like one choice is going to be obviously better than the other. Maybe they both have some positives, they both have some negatives. Again, it's not really clear one way or the other what we should be doing next. But yeah, to have all of these major arcana, I mean, let's see, how many do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards, and some pretty powerful ones at that. So whatever this situation is for you, this feels like this is big. Outside of our major arcana, let's just do a little bit of a quick check. We have just the Two of Swords. We have a Seven of Cups. So there's some water energy, some air. We have a little bit more water with the Princess of Cups, and a little bit of earth with the Princess of Discs. So I'm kind of just looking at this just as a big picture. It feels like whatever this is you're probably stuck trying to figure out how to get something started. I feel like you've got a huge opportunity in front of you, and this is the earliest stages of trying to tap into something that's going to really kick off into something big. So let's see if we can kind of go through this little by little and see what sort of unfolds. So for the Two of Swords to be crossed by the Princess of Discs, um, what I likely see here is that you are being presented with some new opportunity, and I don't think you know what to do with it. I think, I mean, we've got here the Wheel of Fortune is turning underneath the current moment. We're crossed by the Princess of Discs, so I feel like either a person or an opportunity has been presented in your life that is offering you something that could bring immense potential. It's maybe not even clear to you just how much potential could come from whatever this opportunity or person is in your life, but I feel like this is a really big opening of a gate into something much, much larger that's really in its earliest stages. And so, again, with the Two of Swords, this is the card, it's the card of peace. So I think perhaps, I mean, maybe up to now you've been in a position where you've been sort of wondering what you should be doing next with your life, or maybe in a work situation, or whatever it is that you've currently got as your sort of major issue that you're dealing with in your personal life or your professional life. But whatever it is that you're dealing with, I think you're maybe in this position where you're like wanting to expand and wanting to go into something new, but not knowing how to do it. And I feel like something has probably just fallen into your lap that you're now having to decide, what do I do with this? It's you probably have something that's a clear opportunity, and you realize that this is a clear opportunity, and we have to decide what we want with this. So here in the recent past, we have the Princess of Cups. So I feel like that is likely the beginning of this feeling of really wanting to do something more important with your time and your energy and your effort, whether this is personal or professional. I feel like you have been likely in a situation of wanting to expand, and the Princess of Cups is this sort of emotional offering, whether from an external source, or I'm kind of getting the vibe that this is probably an aspect of you, where you're feeling this desire to want to tap into something more emotionally resonant with you. You know, maybe you've been working a job for a really long time, and it's not a bad job, but it's not something that maybe makes you feel as special and important as you would really like. And so you're probably in this position where we then enter from here to the Two of Swords, where we're trying to figure out, is there a crossroads that we can hit where we can decide whether we want to continue this path or move into something else. And with the Princess of Disc being what crosses us at this, I think this is literally the crossroad that you are reaching here. So this is that sort of beginning of a feeling of, I want to do something new. This is the period of not knowing what that is or what this opportunity might be until suddenly it appears to you, almost likely divinely. Something just sort of pops into your world where you're like, now I have to deal with this. But it's not a bad thing. You're not dealing with it because, this is something I'm going to have to, get around. This is an opportunity that is probably so fruitful for you that now you have to decide just exactly how to seize on this opportunity to do something really good. And that's why the Lover's card is right here. This is not necessarily something that is going to be a romantic situation, but I think whatever this opportunity is, it's being presented to you in a way where you have to choose what you're going to do with it. You can choose to ignore it. You can choose to, seize upon it and then, build something bigger out of it. But I even get the sense that whatever this opportunity is for you, how you decide to respond to it is going to have a really big impact on your future. So you're going to have to decide how to commit to whatever this is. So, perhaps with the Princess of Cups, this is a romantic offer of someone that has come into your life, and now you're trying to figure out how to build your life around this person. But I actually get more of a sense that this is something that is more of your work that you do in the world, and not necessarily your career, but like the things that are important to you, the work that you do that is what defines, who you are as a person. I don't think you were really feeling quite on the right path of accomplishing that goal until this opportunity arrived. And so that's what's happening here is feeling this call to work on something bigger with your life, to really put your heart into something important, feeling a little bit stuck until an opportunity just crashes in that you now have to deal with. But now, I mean, it's a positive problem. I keep saying to deal with, but again, I don't mean that into like, oh, this is a burden. It's more of the, this is such a great opportunity. What can I do with this kind of thing? And that's what the Lovers is deciding that now we have to choose how we're going to respond to this. And I think where all of this came from is what the Wheel of Fortune is representing. I think as you started to perhaps tap more into this desire to want to do something more important and powerful with your time, something that really makes you feel like you are doing something to make the world better, I think that sort of intentionality and refocusing your way of looking at things in terms of, I want to make something positive of my time on this planet, I think that is what has sort of cranked this wheel forward and has brought whatever this opportunity is into your life. It's maybe put you in a direction that's guided you to want to create and want to connect with something, and that has sort of naturally put you in the right direction of trying to get in contact with whatever this opportunity is. Now, up here at the top, we have the Seven of Cups, and this is the card of make sure you really look closely at what it is that you have. I mean, I think this is a positive opportunity, but I think that is, in some sense, a warning that as we decide what we're going to do with this opportunity, we have to figure out, are we making decisions that are really going to take us in the right direction? Is this going to be something that is going to have positive, fruitful constructions? Or is this going to be something that's going to lead us astray and take us into a direction where maybe we're not doing the best we could be, or perhaps it even takes us in a path that could be long-term destructive? So we want to make sure that we're using this opportunity as best as possible. So really make sure that you're double checking and looking closely at how you decide to use this opportunity, whatever this is, whether this is, again, a new person coming into your life, or a new like financial opportunity, or a new career being presented to you. Really make sure that before you make any decision that you look closely that the thing that you're working towards really is the best path forward. Okay, I don't think we need to worry that this opportunity is a bad opportunity. I don't want to overemphasize that as a part of this situation. Just let's make sure that whatever this opportunity is, that we use it as effectively as possible, so that we don't let it be a wasted opportunity. That's really what I'm seeing with that card there. And I think this is kind of why we have the Hermit here too, is that we have to decide that as we're going through our thought process of figuring out what we want to do with this opportunity, we have to sort of look inside of ourselves and get a better sense of what it is that we're trying to tap into. So as we were feeling this Princess of Cups sort of calling to connect more closely with something that's really important, something that makes us feel like our time was not wasted on this earth, really trying to tap into whatever our great work is going to be of our life, we need to make sure that we really are keeping a check on that and not letting this opportunity just be one, quick gain before we move on to the next thing. If this really is as important of an opportunity as all these major arcana seem to suggest, I would think that we want to make sure that we really are using it in a way that's true to our personal calling, and that we really are bringing into the world something we can be really proud of. And that is here now followed in our environment with the sun. So we want to make sure that whatever our calling is on the inside, we want to look into that, because you notice here the Hermit is carrying what is essentially like the sun or even the star in his little lantern here. And that's representative of that calling inside of us, that we look inward to figure out what it is we know in our hearts needs to be done. And for this to be followed by the sun, I feel like this is saying that if we really do take the work to use this opportunity as best as we can, we're going to be able to take that inner light inside of us and make something really beautiful that the whole world can see. So if this is a creative opportunity or a work-related thing, I think we want to make sure that we use this opportunity as best as possible so that we can make something that the whole world can really enjoy, not just something that makes us feel special. And perhaps if this is a romantic thing for you, if some new person has come into your life that you're feeling really connected with, we want to make sure that we really nurture and grow this relationship so that it's something that can become really special, that perhaps we can then share with the rest of the world. Not that we were going to share our relationship with the rest of the world, but, let that growth that comes from connecting with this other person be something that can help fuel you so that you can gain a more positive outlook on the world and be a sort of beacon of light for other people. So you can take that positivity that you have found and tapped into and share that with other people. Okay? So, but again, I really feel like this isn't as much of a romantic connection. I feel like this is an opportunity to really do something that's more of your personal work. So again, I feel like this is a sense of sort of getting a calling, wanting to move into a new direction until suddenly a new opportunity rolls into our lives that we now have to make a choice on how to respond to. We want to make sure that we make this choice so that it's in alignment with what we know to be our true sort of calling in life. And that's what's going to allow us to be like the sun as we enter into this world and connect with other people and share this opportunity as it grows. But now we have, and what we're concerned about, and our challenge is the universe. And I think this is related to the initial concern with how do we go into something that's going to be more in line with what we want to accomplish. I feel like the concern here might be, as we're upgrading our life through this opportunity, that perhaps the concern is that if we make the wrong choice, we may not be able to really expand this as much as we would like to. I mean, as with the Seven of Cups here, again, I feel like there's a bit of a concern with letting this become a wasted opportunity because we overlooked just how important this could be as a opportunity in our lives to build something great. So I think the challenge here is to make sure that whatever it is that we do with this opportunity, that we really do our best to make the most of it so that we don't, as we try to expand our universe and really become the greatest version of ourselves that we can, we don't want that to be wasted. Okay? I mean, it could also be a concern of maybe this is an opportunity that is so big for you. There could also be the issue of, how do I actually, do I really want this? Maybe is another issue that could be arising for you. So if you've been presented with something that can be really useful, perhaps the other sort of deciding or way of looking at this and deciding what to do with it between the Seven of Cups and the World card is, do we really want this? Is this really what's going to make us feel connected with our life path? So as we're looking inward and trying to understand what to do with this, and we're saying, well, maybe this isn't the opportunity I wanted, I get the sense that it likely is, but it could be that for your personal situation, you might be sort of overthinking it and deciding, is this an opportunity I want? Maybe I can stay sort of comfortable where I am. But I tend to lean more towards this really being an opportunity where the issue is not, is this what I want, so much as let's make sure that we use this opportunity as best as we can. Okay, so but either of those, again, whichever resonates more with you, take that as the message that's coming through here. So now, as our final card here at the top, we see the Star as the likely outcome of this situation. And this is why I lean more towards the issue really being a fear of wasting this opportunity. Because if the likely outcome here is the Star, all of this really to me is saying you're in a position to where you want to do something great. You haven't known how until this opportunity has fallen into your lap almost out of chance, it feels like. Though likely if you've been wanting to do something great, you've probably been slowly pushing yourself in that direction. But with this opportunity seemingly falling out of the sky, we don't want to squander this because we really see that whatever this is, we know that if we do what we really can with this opportunity, if we do the best we can to produce something great, it's going to allow us to follow our star, which really is the card of representing your calling. The Hermit to me feels like the star when it's contained inside of us as an individual. The Star as a card by itself is that same sort of glowing power inside of us, but seeing it external to ourselves. And so a great deal of tapping into our life's journey is trying to connect those two pieces, almost like two poles of a magnet that are trying to pull together. This is us trying to reconnect is an individual with the star at the universal level, that we can then feel connected with everything around us and really feel like a part of the universe. So I don't think we're afraid of growing so much to become the universe as we are worried that we may not be able to achieve that level of greatness. So again, I really feel like the sort of general idea here is that you've got an opportunity. That's whatever the Princess of Discs is for you. Something external has been presented to you that you can do something great with, and we want to make sure that we make the right choices so that we can use this opportunity to do the best we can at building something great in our future. So that feels good. That feels really nice. So let's see what we don't see coming. The Ten of Swords. Wow. Okay. I think that the likely interpretation of this card in this situation is the idea of it is the card of ruin. That is one thing that we could be concerned about, is that perhaps if we squander this opportunity, it could be something that could, result in a lot of pain. This loss of opportunity could be something that really makes us feel like we had all of this and we squandered it and it fell to nothing. But I think more likely what this card is representing is escaping the old way of life that we had prior to this opportunity. Again, I don't feel like things were necessarily bad. There's nothing in this reading that specifically says that your experience up to now was not good, but this is all about upgrading to something better. And so this ruin here is really escaping the cage of how things were prior to this opportunity. And I mean, look at the colors on this card. For a card that's usually associated with so much negativity, these are really bright, positive colors. And I really think what this is, it's like the sun is on the other side of all of these swords, and we're stuck inside of our own headspace, and we need to escape that. We need to escape all that negative air energy so that we can reconnect with both the sun and the star and the whole universe and become more, just more united with everything that makes us feel sort of special as a being in this world. So although what you don't see coming is ruin, I think the reason you don't see this coming is because you don't see just how great things are going to be when you finally make the choice to seize this opportunity and move towards the thing that's going to make you feel like you're really following your true calling. So I don't see this as a negative card. I see this as the light at the end of the tunnel as you really go through the work of seizing this opportunity and doing something important with it. So all right, so let us now see what's going on in your subconscious. We're going to pull a few cards from the shadow deck here. So we'll pull 3 cards, and we'll see what's going on in your headspace. So with the Ten of Swords here, I am kind of curious to see what it is we might be sort of running away from internally. All of these cards here really, to me, are showing things in your external world, except for perhaps the Hermit being the reflection on what's going in your head. But let's see if we can maybe get a little bit more context with these cards here. Let's see what is going on in your subconscious. So let's get another good shuffle in there. Okay, so let's see. What are we thinking about as this opportunity has been brought into our lives? We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Four of Wands, and the Two of Cups. Okay, so with the Knight of Swords, so I think the Knight of Swords is, again, connected to this idea of what led up to this opportunity coming into your life. So you've got this sort of calling that's coming from the Princess of Cups, that is this internal voice saying you need to get in alignment with something that you really feel is going to help you connect with the rest of the world and really give some important meaning into your life. And I think the Knight of Swords is hearing that voice and wanting to charge directly into a situation to do something that's going to make us feel like we're really committing to our lives and doing something important with our time. And I think that is why you hit the then Two of Swords, where it's like, okay, I've got all this passion, I've got all this energy, I want to do something with it. I just don't know what yet, until the Princess of Discs appeared, whatever that was for you, and gave you the opportunity to seize upon and take all of that Knight of Swords energy and do something constructive with it. It gives you direction to all of that mental energy that's been building up as this passion starts to grow. Then with the Four of Wands, this is you then feeling like, as this opportunity has been brought into your life with the Princess of Discs, this is feeling like you're finally connecting with the people or the things in your life that really are sort of, the term I think is best described as like your soul tribe, you know, finding alignment with people and your surroundings that feel like they're the right place for you to be. This homecoming, I think that your headspace sort of has this, you feel like it's finally like into the right frequency to be able to feel like the things that you're doing with your time really are the valuable, important things you want to be doing with your time. And that's what the Four of Wands is. I think the Princess of Discs is almost like the heart of the celebration that's being brought together with this Four of Wands energy. These four pillars are then sort of like it's like the protective covering in your headspace of like, okay, now I really feel safe and connected with whatever it is I want to spend my time doing. I don't know if that quite makes sense, but that's what I'm visualizing. Is it's like you're in your mind, you're wanting to connect with something that feels more grandiose and important, and you see this almost like canopy in the distance, not a literal one, but like in your mind, you see this sort of canopy that you want to head towards. That is really where this opportunity can be something that's put on display that you can then take and connect with, and then create this great opportunity, whatever this is for you. And with the Two of Cups, this is that feeling that you get as you walk into that space of really feeling this emotional resonance, this feeling of love, not just like between two people, but the love of connecting with something really important. I mean, it's right underneath it is the Lover's card. So I really feel like as you approach this opportunity, you really feel like you've come home to something important. You've found what it is you're looking for, and then you can connect with it. And then the whole rest of the story is about using this in a way that we can build something really, really good from. So let's finish this off with one last card. Here is the Nine of Spheres. And that's really as you seize on this opportunity, whatever this is. The Nine of Spheres is, you know, the path of once we collect this opportunity that's just waiting for us and connect with it and do something beautiful with it. This is the taking that idea and moving it forward to create a really beautiful future so that we can build something that we as an individual can be really proud of and look back on our lives and say, I did something really important. I did something that allowed me to grow and feel connected. I escaped the world that I was in before and moved towards something much more powerful and beautiful. And yeah. So yeah, I hope this made some sense. A little all over the place with my interpretations of these cards, but I hope the general message is coming through. And as always, you know, with any of these messages, if the cards are saying anything to you with these images, or if anything stands out that's either different or further from what I'm giving you here, always use your intuition to take those messages as you need to receive them. But to sort of summarize, I really feel like you've reached a place where an opportunity is going to help guide you into finding your path forward, connecting with something that you're really going to feel is your calling, and you're going to be able to build something really beautiful, whether that's in the physical world or just something that you feel is going to, you know, put your mind in a place where you really feel like you've accomplished something you can be proud of, and get away from the things that were making you feel sort of empty or stale in the past. That's the energy I'm really getting from this here. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful. As always, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments that you would like to leave, anything you'd like to discuss, please drop those in the comment section down below. And if you know anyone else that might enjoy this or any of my other videos, you know, please share them as you feel fit. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.